I thought it was about time that I shared one of my RPG stories with all of you. And, well, yesterday I got to experience one of the best things to have ever happened to one of my groups. I was a player this time around. On Tuesdays, I play a game called Shadowrun, which, for those who don't know, is a cyberpunk universe with a lot of fantasy and magic elements to it. In Shadowrun, you take on the role of Shadowrunners, or criminals who work for megacorporations to do bad things to other megacorporations. It's very fun, very gritty, action packed, magic intense. It's awesome. So, in our little group, we rotate out every week who runs the game, and so we have a rotating cast of characters. This week, it happened to be myself. I'm playing an orc hacker named, or sorry, an orc rigger named Zero. We have Kaz, who is a explosives expert human, and then we have Billy's character, Gruzling Ironbeard, who is a dwarf. And honestly, to this day, I am not certain what he's actually supposed to do. All I know is that he's very good at cheesing the game and killing things. Excuse me. So, our little group is contacted by a Mr. Johnson. In Shadowrun, a Johnson is somebody who gives you a job. So we go and meet Johnson, and he tells us, okay, you guys need to go into this relatively small corporation, take one of their employees, and bring them back to us unharmed. We're like, okay, cool, simple extraction mission, got it. We didn't ask any questions for some reason. Like, all we had to go on were an address and a description. We didn't ask the Johnson anything, not, I don't know, what floor is this person going to be on? Do you know anything about your rival corporation that we should know? What's the security like? We're idiots. And we didn't think of that even until we actually got there. One of the most important parts of Shadowrun is the planning phase. You know what we do? We drive past the building, take a note of what's around it, and we didn't even ask the game master what the building looked like, how many floors it had, how tall it was, etc. So we all go back and we make a plan. Here's our plan. It's the best exit strategy we've ever come up with. Gruzling is going to go into the building with a bomb vest on and a very heavy gun. He is going to go into the building, extract the victim, right, get on his motorcycle and drive away. This was supposed to happen very, very, very quickly. We had determined that there was a tunnel nearby that we could drive through. Myself, Zero, most of the time I'm driving the getaway vehicle, which is a big-ass armored van. We are going to time the escape so that Zero gets the van in front of the motorcycle in the tunnel where there are no security cameras. And then we had rigged the van so that it would drop a ramp and Gruzling could ride his motorcycle straight up the ramp into the back of the van. And we could then drive away in the van, leaving Knights Errant behind. Knights Errant being the police officers in Shadowrun. And furthermore, we had Kaz rig the tunnel with explosives and leave. And he gave my character the detonator. So once Gruzling was safely on board the vehicle with our hostage, I would then blow up the tunnel behind us. It was perfect. We thought about this. We made rolls. It was great. And then we got to the building. And we get... Gruzling gets like 2 steps into the building. We realized that we're idiots and had no idea what we were doing this time. So, my character, Zero, and Kaz decide, okay, well, we're going to get the hell out of Dodge. Let's go. Gruslin's player, Billy, goes, nah, nuh-uh, I'm not leaving. Fights his goddamn way through the lobby. He's surrounded by corporate guards. He's shooting left and right. He gets into the elevator. The elevator is shut down because of course it is. It's like, okay. Keep in mind, during like the entire course of events I'm about to describe for you, the GM asks every once in a while, hey, do you want to just get out of here? To which Gruslin always goes, nah. So myself and Kaz were sitting back and watching this unfold and going, okay, this is funny. So anyway, the corporation calls the police. We're like, oh shit, now we really need to go. Come on, let's go. So my character and Kaz get into the van and we drive away, leaving Gruslin behind because he didn't want to come with. We're criminals. What do you want? All right, Gruslin clears the first floor. Right? He leaps into the elevator. The elevator breaks down. They shut it off so that he can't go any further. So he breaks the elevator shaft with his sword, or the top of the elevator, climbs into the shaft, uses his grappling hook arm to shoot all the way up to the top, take the time to painstakingly climb to the 23rd floor, which is where the first elevator gets to. There is then a second elevator that goes up to, like, all of the top floors where the residents live. Gruslin makes it to the 23rd floor. By this time, the police have arrived. They're securing the area. He's only got a couple of minutes. He goes to open up the other elevator. It's shut down from the inside. He can't get the door open. He fails 3 consecutive strength rolls to get the elevator doors open. No luck. From there, Knights Errant is taking the elevator up because our GM is a generous god and he decided they weren't taking the stairs. So they take this elevator up and up. The GM is narrating their progress as Gruslin continues to fail to open the elevator doors. As they approach the top, the 23rd floor, Gruslin swings around with his sword, cuts through the wire, and yes, we checked to make sure that was possible, cuts through the wire with his futuristic badass Highlander sword. The elevator drops. It gets stuck on the 8th floor. We forgot emergency brakes were a thing. So, now Knights Errant have to take the stairs. Furthermore, one of their squads is stuck in a little elevator. Gruslin finally opens up the second elevator doors. Inside, 4 corporate security officers, pointing guns at Gruslin. They were waiting for this. They burst out into the room. Gruslin only has his sword. He's fighting tooth and nail. He's dodging bullets left and right. He's taking out guard after guard. Finally, they're all dead. What does he do? He jumps out a goddamn window off of the 23rd floor, shoots his grappling hook arm again, and rappels down the building into the alleyway. Knights Errant is nearby. He dials my character, who is driving the vehicle, and goes, hey, blow up the bridge. Maybe we'll distract them. So we blow up the tunnel, and we're like, oh man, he's going to survive this. That'll be amazing. Alright, so Gruslin continues his descent. Knights Errant comes running around the corner. What does Gruslin do? He hides in a dumpster. Excuse me. I should mention that as he is rappelling down the building, he is taking fire from above. It's glorious. He survives a rain of lead and glass. So we blow up the tunnel. Surprising to us, but really shouldn't have been, Knights Errant has more than one squad in the city of Seattle, and they sent a second one to deal with our blowing up the tunnel, while the main squad stayed there to detain Gruslin Ironbeard. Right? He hides in the dumpster. He starts digging around in the dumpster. He takes off his armor, his helmet, his sword. He hides them in throughout the trash. Knights Errant calls backup. They don't want to go in this alley with only 2 of them. They hear a rustling in the garbage can. Gruslin rolls disguise. They open the dumpster. Our man Gruslin says, "Did you catch him? The crazy guy with the sword! He hurt me!" He continues to try to bluff his way out, and honestly, if I were the GM this week, I would have shut this down a while ago. But he's finally arrested. And in Shadowrun, you can get little fake ID cards. He uses one of those. It passes inspection. So the only thing he got booked for, because the entire time he was wearing a helmet that obscured his face and they never found the armor and the sword, the only thing that he was arrested for was resisting arrest. He was let out of prison within like a week. Like, dear Lord. The cops never found his weapons and armor in the dumpster. And the GM told us that it finally got thrown out into a garbage dump. And this shit only happens in role-playing games, man. Like, that's the most intense thing that has happened to us in Shadowrun. And this is one of the very few times where I've been on the player's end of the screen watching someone else have fun and being totally fine with it the whole time. Thank you very much for listening to this pointless ramble. Have a fantastic rest of your evening, and happy gaming.